I don't agree with Tariq's rhetoric. Okay, he's done some very good things, and you're constant in condemning an African simply because they're an immigrant, and you're constant. Then there's something wrong with your knowledge base. Tariq has pulled together a lot of fantastic scholars.
Professor Smalls is like a father to me. He's like a father figure. Love Professor Smalls. Professor Small drops a lot of game. Professor Small reprimands me about stuff all the time. He's like a father figure.
Peace, family. King Messiah here, and I wanted to just highlight this story, how we want to first say we give thanks for the elder James Smalls, but I feel like he was definitely misinformed. He'd been going off of these sound bites, and it may look like Tariq is xenophobic or that he has a disdain for black people from Africa, which is not true. I want to be clear. Anytime that you have seen Tariq or the Foundation of Black Americans looking as if they were going at our family, our brothers and sisters from the continent, I want everybody from the continent and from the Caribbean to know it is only when they have thrown attacks at Tariq Nasheed or Foundation of Black Americans. And I'm not caping for Tariq. This is what I've heard with my own ears. I'm going to play an old clip from Twitter Spaces just so you can get a sample of what a lot of Foundation of Black Americans have been experiencing and why they go ahead and they insult them back when they're being insulted. Hit that subscribe button. This is King Messiah. Let's get into this clip.
In my DMs, I don't care. I'm not here to argue with you guys.
Wait, hold on. So are you going to speak, Rhea, or should we let this black man with the black glasses speak, Young Fly?
Yo, Fly, go ahead, G.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
No. You don't tell him when he speaks. I do. Go ahead, black man.
I appreciate you letting me speak, first and foremost. Honestly, I come from West African parents, but I would consider myself Black American because I was born here. But I really think this is quite an interesting Twitter space. Because I don't think I've met too many Ethiopian people, but, some of your guys' perspectives, it is very fascinating. I think it is quite necessary for people to hear you guys speak like this, because honestly, I've never heard people from Africa speak like this about other Black people. And, I don't agree with it, but
I bug-break these people. I bug-break them.
What I'm trying to say is that I understand it comes from
both sides.
Can we
talk about African American abortion rate? 20 million aborted since 1976. African American have the highest poverty rate in the United States, even compared to other immigrant groups, which have 11.9%, and African Americans sit at 25% poverty rate proportional representation. Why?
You're Yemeni?
I'm from the outside looking in. I'm just saying it's an interesting perspective.
Hold on,
and I think it's important that you guys have a Twitter space like this so people can see how.
Do you want me to get my leather lash?
Do
you want me to get my leather
But I
lash?
appreciate you guys having this Twitter space.
And I will whip your butt
until it is. Some of you guys get down.
I will
Young,
whip
nobody
your
cares about your experience.
Yo, guys, stop arguing. Guys, this is what they want. No, this is what these black people want. And for the people back channeling me and saying, drop the address and drop this and drop that. I live in Fort Myers, Michigan. If you want to come see me, I have a 12-gauge shotgun waiting for you. Come see me, black man. I dare you.
And if you want to come anywhere outside of United States, I have a tight rope for you. And I promise you, I will put you in the ocean because I know black cannot swim. I know this first-hand experience. Observe you, black monkey.
Listen, I want to hear this.
You monkey.
I want to hear
you
this.
You are monkey.
You're certified. Listen, black men are known to be gangsters, quote unquote, correct? Tell me why a gangster is broke. These men literally live off the streets, and that's what they claim, right? And the black women will sit on internet, tweet about how she wants a thug, a black thug. You never hear a black woman say, I want a white man who's a thug. You know why? Because white men, including us, we will.
You don't even know what you're trying to say, man.
Okay, now I know that was very hard to listen to. It was very disturbing. And yeah, those very well may be some trolls. I get it. But what we're trying to highlight is whenever you hear foundational Black Americans speaking towards our brothers and sisters on the continent, it's only when insults were thrown at them first. This is just one out of many thousands of hours of Twitter spaces where Africans from the diaspora had the opportunity to show their true feelings and sentiment. Now listen, I'm all for Pan-Africanism. I'm all for connecting with our brothers over there in the continent. Shout out to Teen Psycho. Shout out to Filmo Africa. These are real Pan-African brothers who reach over, and I got love for them brothers, and it's all love. But we have to admit there is a group or a sector or whatever that despise, that hate on foundational or Black Americans, and it is what it is. And now listen to Tariq Nasheed out of his own mouth speak on his thoughts on the statement that Professor James Smalls made. I think he handled it very classy.
This dude went and interviewed. Did y'all see this dude interview Professor James Small and told Professor Small, I don't know what he told him, some bullshit, just so he can get a sound bite of Professor Small's somewhat reprimanding me? And all the tethers just kind of ran with it. Oh, Professor Small is checking Tariq Nasheed. Professor Small, the video has Professor Small saying, hey, Tariq shouldn't criticize Africans just because they're immigrants, which I've never done. I've never done that. And the tether who fed him all the misinformation, I forgot what the nigga's name is, but he's a nobody and he's a non-entity. Just the fact that he would try to get our elder and try to pit him against me and the rest of us really shows how disgusting and deceitful the tethers are. That further shows how disgusting these Negroes are, which makes me lose even more respect for the tether class. Let me say this. Professor Smalls is my elder. Professor Smalls is like a father to me. He's like a father figure. Love Professor Smalls. Professor Small drops a lot of game. Professor Small reprimands me about stuff all the time. He's like a father figure. My mom reprimands me about stuff all the time. Much love to him. I honor our brother Professor Small. Professor Smalls has dropped so much game. Professor Small is a real true OG. We've gotten a lot of game from the elder. Real talk. And I understand where Professor Small comes from, because Professor Small comes from an era where he rocked with some real stomp down, true to the game brothers from Africa. Back in those days, you had to be true to the game if you came around any foundation of Black Americans. And Brother Smalls clicked in with a lot of diplomats over there, a lot of people in the political hierarchy. So he's clicked in he's been clicked in with some heavyweights over there, some real people who's serious. And I get where my brother Professor Smalls is coming from. I get that. The problem is we ain't got too many dudes like that no more coming from the Caribbean and Africa. We don't have it. Let's keep it a buck. We don't have that no more. We ain't got riders like that no more, man. Times are different now. We ain't got riders like that. And that disgusting tether who tried to hide his anti-F.B.A. hatred behind our elder, that was some sucker shit, my G. Because you know good and well our good brother elder, Professor Smalls, he don't know the shit y'all be saying in these little chat rooms. You know Professor Small don't know that little sucker shit y'all be doing on Clubhouse and in these Twitter spaces. You know he ain't in them spaces hearing what y'all really be saying and doing. You know he don't know what y'all doing for real, for real. We know, nigga. We know what y'all do. We know what you say. We get the brunt of that little sucker shit y'all do, and we check you for it, and we gonna keep checking your bitch asses for it, dude. You're not gonna hide behind the elder, do little slick shit, and then get behind the elder. Elder Tariq and those niggas are mean to me. They call me Ashy. Professor Smalls, they're mean to me, those niggas. I'm just trying to help and join hands. No, you know, nigga. No. We see what y'all be doing and saying. We see the little slick shit y'all do, and you get called out for it. It ain't got nothing about it being a damn immigrant. It's about you being jealous, contemptuous, and hateful of foundational black Americans. Y'all come over here, too many of you come over here with hatred and contempt, jealousy, the same shit that had you failing back home, and then you come over here and try to pull that shit on us, and we're saying, no, you're not doing that. And we gonna keep saying it. Our good elder can't save you from your bullshit. We're checking everybody, dude. No. Everybody, it's checking time, because y'all niggas, the tethers are dangerous at this point, dude. Come on now. No, y'all not gonna hide behind our good brother. No, that's our brother, man. Man, I love Professor Small. Man, we got we damn near got a shrine to Professor Smalls at the museum. We honor that brother. I'm gonna keep honoring that brother. That's a rider. I'm gonna keep honoring our brother. I'm gonna keep doing that. You're not the god nerve of you trying to pit our brother against me and us. Y'all ain't and I'm going harder on you can tethers. That's why we gonna continue to go hard on you for even trying to pull a stunt like that. Sitting up here lying, and these dudes y'all know how these dudes be. They come in these rooms, they come around and try to do everything they can to undermine us. They go out of their way to undermine us, and we are just not having it. We are not having it whatsoever, because now you get those tethered who can't stand us, and they get in political positions, and then they really try to undermine us, and we're just not having it. This is the new normal. And then when y'all come in our little chat rooms and try to roast, y'all get into roast sessions with your corny jokes, and then we flip and start lighting y'all up, and then you start feeling a certain way. That's what it is.
So there you have it. I want you guys to leave it in the comment section. What do you think about this? Do you feel like Black Americans or foundational Black Americans or Aboriginal Americans, people who are claiming that they're indigenous to America and they're having pride in these the Americas, they're having pride in where they came from? Do you feel like they're spewing hatred towards other cultures simply by acknowledging and declaring their love and their pride for their American culture? Okay, because from me looking at it, it's not. It's like when you have Trinidadian Day or the Puerto Rican Day parade. No one looks at them. Black Americans aren't looking at the Caribbean parade and saying y'all are being xenophobic towards Black America. Shoot, we'll go to the Caribbean parade and listen to the soca music and listen to the tin cans, and it might be a little annoying to the ears, but we still appreciate the culture. We may not be able to identify with it all the time, but we can appreciate the culture. And I feel like now that Black Americans are starting to respect, acknowledge, and love their Black American culture and lineage, other cultures are looking at them like, whoa, y'all are excluding us. And it's not. They're just being proud of where and who they are. Foundational Black Americans does not mean you hate the brothers from Africa. And I think it's a big misconception that Tariq is being viewed as this man that hates Africans just because they're from Africa. No, he's simply acknowledging that a lot of times Pan-Africanism seems like a one-way street. It doesn't seem both ways. It seems like all that Pan-Africanism represents is what can Black Americans do for Africa, and it's never reciprocated. And in our reality, Africa has the land, Africa has the resources, Africa has the governments, the structure to be able to lift up the entire Black race. So that's another, maybe we'll talk about that in part 2 on Pan-Africanism and what can Africa do for the Black race all over the world. And it's not like, oh, what Black Americans need to do for Africa, because at the end of the day, the Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, are still finding their identity, are still regaining a lot of the things that were took and lost. So it's like you have to pick up all the broken pieces before you can even be strong. In Africa, they're already strong. They already know they have their native tongue. They speaking in their native culture. They're on their land. So at the end of the day, and they have land for acres and acres and acres. But no, it's the Black Americans who gotta save the day. Come on, y'all. Let's be real. Let's be honest. We're going to talk about that in another video. Y'all leave that in the comment section. Let me know what's your thoughts. Over and out. King Messiah. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Messiah spelled with an O, not an E. Peace.